Okay, so hey guys, welcome back to another interview today. I'm here with James McDonald. James, how are we doing, mate?
Yeah, very good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. It's a pleasure to speak to you today, and thank you. And it's a pleasure to be down at this gym as well. It's a very nice setup you've got here, and
It's quite cozy.
yes, and as James Richardson said off camera, you're one of the founding members of this gym as well. And what was it? What was it like when it first started?
Yeah, it was a lot different when it first started. As you can see, we've got like this flooring down. When we first moved in, we never had that. We never had the ring. It was just like a small ring on the concrete floor, and we didn't get many people, to be honest. There was 5 or 6 of us when we started up. Now we get like classes of 30 sometimes. So yeah, we've grew.
You have indeed, and is it just nice to see the development of the gym going so well?
It really is, yeah. Like this place is like home to me. Like I've been in and out of boxing a few times, and every time I've come back, I've been welcomed with open arms. So it is nice to see it doing well.
Amazing. And for yourself, how long have you been fighting for?
I started roughly when I was 11. I did 11 to 18 sort of non-stop, and then I've been sort of in and out. I've come back. Last year was my first year back after 5 years out, so roughly I've been doing it 8, 9 years, I'd say.
And what was that motivation to come back after them few years out?
So COVID hit, and I was just at home, and Rico, the head coach, messaged me asking if I fancied coming back to do a bit of coaching. And I just thought, I've been at home, I would like to coach, but I'd also like to see if I can still box, see if I've still got it. I think I'm still young enough to compete, so yeah, I just started training, and it sort of went from there.
Of course, and I believe you're East Midlands Challenge champion. Is that what it is? Yep. And what and does the amateurs suit you as a fighter?
I think so, yeah. I think the professional game's a lot different. I work full time, so I'd struggle to train as much as other people. So I think in the professional game, I'd get found out very quickly. In the amateurs, it's only 3 rounds. So this is ideal for me, really, yeah.
No, I appreciate that. And have you ever considered what a lot of people do, the unlicensed game?
Not really, no. I don't think it's for me. I get people do it for charity, and I can appreciate that. But I think if I went into it, I think I'd have an unfair advantage, and it's just not for me.
That's understandable. But for yourself, you said that like you wouldn't be against doing coaching, and I'm sure when you see these young fighters, I'm sure you give out your own advice and stuff like that as well. And is it nice to be able to have somebody to give you advice too?
Yeah, well, like I say, I am a qualified coach now, and I do I help out on a Thursday when I can with the beginners session. And it is nice when you get the ones you can see them listening to you and progressing, and they're the ones you really want to help. And it's just nice when we're in the gym, we all help each other anyway. There's plenty of times where people like Gemma have stopped the class to help everyone, and she'll show us how to do stuff. And there's even times I'm thinking, do you know what, I didn't know how to do that. So it is good, we all help each other. And she's come to me before and asked about stuff, and anyone can go to anyone, ask them to improve, and everyone's willing to help. So it is really a great place to be, especially as a coach.
Amazing. And I mean, you see lots of fighters at a high level change and chop between coaches, but as you are now a coach yourself, how important do you feel like it is to have that good relationship with just a singular coach and just stick with that?
Yeah, I think that's very important. When you're chopping and changing coaches, you've got to build that relationship again. Whereas I've known Rico since I was 11. He knows me. He knows how I like to box. He knows how to motivate me. He knows how to push me to get more. He knows when to sort of tell me to chill out and calm down. He can see when I'm getting a bit too overexcited. So I think that's very important. Whereas if I went to a new gym, they might not know that. They'll push me past my limits. So yeah, I think that's very important to sort of sustain a relationship with a boxer or a coach and try and keep it for as long as you can.
Yeah, I completely agree. And are you going to be wanting to stick in boxing again for a while, or is this just maybe just to finish, have a few more amateur fights and then just move on to coaching?
Yeah, I think I definitely will be staying amateur. I think I've got a few years left in me, so hopefully I can see that out. And then, just look to sort of retire with the training and just go into coaching more. And it's an amazing feeling when you, especially with the young uns, and you take them somewhere and they do really well, and you can see they're really happy with the performance, and you can't help but be proud of them. They've gone in there and they've done that. They've trained hard for it. They've listened to you, and they've gone put the work in and they've won. And there's not much better feelings, to be honest, than seeing them really happy. So yeah.
Of course, and I don't think there is many people that can go back and forth between boxing and still keep that enjoyment.
Yeah.
But how much do you enjoy boxing?
Yeah, so when I first quit, I did sort of come out of love with it. I got a little hand injury, and I had a belt back then, and I lost it, and I just didn't want to do it anymore. And I told my dad, who used to come coaching, I didn't want to do it. I just wanted to go out with my friends and have a good time, and I just I lost that spark. But when I come back this time, I really got it back. I really reignited that spark, and I'm just absolutely loving it at the minute. So yeah, I can see me going for a few more years, and then when my body doesn't let me anymore, sort of slowing down.
That's amazing. And you see some fighters that aren't even that massive of a boxing fan, and it means that they won't necessarily go to the trenches and dig deep when they need to, because they're just not really that bothered about it as much, I suppose. And how important is it to enjoy the sport?
Yeah, I think it's massively important. If you just come in and you're not enjoying yourself, you're just going through the motions, and you'll just quickly get found out in sparring and competing. I had one back in April in the championships quarterfinals where I wasn't quite ready. I had a daughter who was born a couple of days before, so I spent a few days in hospital, and just mentally I was drained, and I got in there and I really struggled, and I just couldn't do anything, and I got beat easily, and I was really disappointed with myself, but I was also happy at the same time that I got in there and I tried. Under different circumstances, I might have done a little bit better. I might have been able to get a little bit further, but yeah.
Of course. And is it something which you're going to be kind of drilling into these younger fighters as well, to not take unnecessary fights and not take fights when it's maybe you've got a little bit of an injury or something like that? I mean, I spoke to James and he's got a little bit of a problem at the moment. He's not taking fights because he needs to be 100%, and like I said to him, you need to be 100%. You can't cheat boxing. And how important is it to make sure that you are that 100% to go into a fight?
Yeah, I think it's very important. Boxers will lie about little niggles and try and push through pain barriers, but I think with the little ones it's important not to aggravate injuries, because that's when you can get problems when you're older. Rico's the one that does all the matchmaking, and he's very good at it. He'll matchmake, get people 50-50 fights, so it's up to him. It's his final decision. He's the head coach, but I think it's very important that if you are injured, you do say something, and if it is really bothering you, like we've got a few boxers at the minute, like James, like Ebony, that are training through injuries, but they're constantly, you see them strapping up, you see them stretching a lot, not pushing themselves. Like Ebony's knee injury, she won't do any skipping or running, she'll go on the bike to warm up and stuff. So there are ways of controlling it, and if coaches know about it, they can help you out, and you can maybe still train. Like if it's a hand injury, maybe you just don't use that hand, you just use one hand. So yeah, there is ways to help.
Indeed. And what is your overall ambitions and wants for your coaching career?
I've not really thought too much about it. At the end of the day, I think a coaching career is not so much for the coach, it's for the boxer. So I'd just like to help the boxers as much as I can and try and help them achieve what they want to achieve.
That's amazing. That's very important. And is there anything that you'd like to shout out for a final question from me? Anything you'd like to shout out?
I'd just like to say thank you to everyone that's ever supported me. Thank you to my dad, who got me into boxing and always brought me, took me home, became a coach because I got into it, took me all over the country, and just shout out to the gym for always being like home to me.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.